Hello there, welcome to Kochi in Kerala, India. Hello, Bobby. It's beautiful down here. This is Fort Kochi Beach, and the sun's going to set in about 6 minutes. I am great. How are you? Thanks for joining me here. Good morning, Philadelphia. Thank you so much for joining me here. It's John Sabo, Far East Adventure Travel. I've been on the road for almost 50 days now in South Asia. Hello, North Carolina. Yes, we've had some nice weather. When I arrived here the day before yesterday, it was raining at night, but it was very cool. Hey, Louisiana. I drove here from the airport in an old Ambassador. This is the classic Indian car you probably saw in the movie Darjeeling Limited, the one that Bill Murray took. Tennessee, hello. How y'all doing down there? Hello, North Texas. How y'all doing? Thank you for joining me here at this lovely sunset in South India, the Arabian Sea. So beautiful here, and it's magical. Yeah, there's a lot of garbage on this beach, to be honest with you. It's not the cleanest beach. Yes, Indians are very family oriented, absolutely. And yeah, very cool. Thank you. So this is not indicative of the beautiful beaches here in Kerala, India. This is a city beach, so there's a lot of trash that gets washed up here. There's also a shipping port here, so there's lots of stuff that gets washed up here. Yeah, but there's lots of clean beaches around here as well. But it's a marvelous sunset. I hope you hang in with me here because the one I got last night was just out of this world towards the end. And I purposely, hey Tim, purposely started this one just a little early so we can catch the full sun going down. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. Please share the broadcast. And all you have to do is on iOS, swipe left to right and tap the share button. And swipe up and down for Android, or tap the number and share that way. I didn't scope the sunset last night. I was taking pictures. I am a photographer, so it's always, thank you for sharing this, by the way. It's always a dilemma for me wanting to share, but wanting to get those great pictures, and you can't do both at the same time. At least I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But I was taking pictures, so I'm going to share those on my Facebook page, Far East Adventure Travel. And tonight you'll be able to see it live here on Fort Kochi Beach. Anyways, I was explaining earlier that this is my first time to Kerala. I'm finding it just very, very magical. There's just something very different here. I've never felt quite like this before in India. I've been as far south as Goa. Which is not really true southern India. It is sort of, but this really is the heart of southern India. And I don't know what it is, I tell you, but it's very, very inspiring to be here. I've just been here this is my second full day here. And there is something in the air. I went down to, I rented a motorbike and I went down to Mattancherry today, which is just very close by Kochi. And within Mattancherry, there's a little enclave called Jewtown. It was a Jewish settlement that was started in the mid-16th century. There's a synagogue that is there that was originally built at that time. And there's spice traders there, and you walk down the streets, and there's these warehouses full of dried ginger and cardamom, so you could smell these spices in the air. And it's really atmospheric. It gets a little touristy closer to Mattancherry, just outside of the synagogue. Unfortunately, there's lots of carpet shops and your typical kind of tourist trap type stores. But just outside of that, it is the true heart of what this area is all about. And it was big in the spice trade, and it's still very much so. Yeah, very, very cool. So I'm learning a lot, feeling a lot here, and I'm just exploring right now. But I'll be here for at least another 6 or 7 days, and then I'll move further south before leaving India. And this place has tons of history. Water is not super clear here. I mean, I'll just pan around quickly and show you. This is a very much a working port area. So there's a container port here, ships coming in and out. So it's much like any kind of beach that would be near any big city. A lot of garbage gets washed up here because there's a lot of shipping that's done around here. I'll be back in Taiwan after India, Christmas in Taiwan, and I will be there through Lunar New Year. And that is always, it's one of my favorite times of the year to be in Taiwan, is for Lunar New Year. No, not so much. There's not really a lot of swimming here. It's not recommended to swim here. There is a lot of pollution, I believe, in the ocean, at least on this beach. Oh yeah, I know you had a good time in Taiwan, didn't you? No, it doesn't smell bad at all here. It doesn't smell bad at all. But there is a lot of garbage, and so this is not a swimming beach. And I have to tell you, because I'm a foreigner and I have a phone, there is definitely a lot of curiosity. Sometimes people just come right up to me, especially if I'm shooting a podcast and I'm doing face time on the, using my phone, because I'll use my iPhone 6 Plus to shoot some of my podcasts, podcasts. People just come right up and put their face right next to me. There's not a lot of private time or personal space here in India. You just have to get used to that when you're traveling here. But it is, it's definitely a different experience. Can be a wonderful experience. Can be frustrating too, if you don't know what you're doing. And people are very, very friendly here, to the point where, like I said, you kind of give up your personal space at times. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to Taiwan and seeing all my favorite places and heading out to some new places and spending a little time outside of Taipei. So I plan to do that when I get back as well. Looking forward to that. Right now, if you're just joining me, it's John Sabo, FarEastAdvTravl, and I'm on Fort Kochi Beach in Kerala, India, watching the sunset. It's just slipping down the horizon now. The food in India is absolutely spectacular. Will I scope food? Yeah, that's a good question. I should have done that when I was in Mumbai, because there's some great street food there, and I really should have done that. I can do that here, sure. It's kind of hard to do it in a restaurant. They typically are not too happy with you flashing a phone around in a restaurant like that. And I will be careful around India. This is my third time here, so thank you, though. You always have to be on guard, no matter where you are, but you can get into some bad situations here for sure. So yeah, I will try to scope some food for sure. But I have had some just amazing food. I had just an absolutely amazing meal my last night in Mumbai. I splurged. Splurging isn't a lot to maybe, if you're in the Western world, like $40 is a big splurge for me in India. And it was just one of the best seafood meals I've ever had. It was absolutely out of this world, and that was my last night in Mumbai. And I've had some pretty good food here. I went to a homestay last night. That was the best meal I had. I have to say, that was the best meal. And then I had a Gujarat thali a few days before, and the Gujarat thali was crazy. I was so full. I had a late lunch, and it was my dinner as well. The food was just, again, out of this world. Where's my favorite place to live? Well, I really do enjoy Taiwan. I love the culture and the people. And there's some really beautiful spots on the island. So I really do enjoy Taiwan. I love Japan. I haven't spent as much time there as Taiwan, but I do love Japan as well. I love visiting all of the countries in Southeast Asia. And I love, the parts of India that I've been to as well. So I'm always looking around and thinking, would this be a good place to live though? So I'm always doing that. I did really enjoy my time in Japan this year. I meant to do some more time there in the fall. I just wasn't able to squeeze it in this trip or this time. What's my favorite spot in Taiwan? That's really hard. You're making me really, I don't know what I love. There's so many places in Taiwan I love. I speak a little bit of Chinese, but very, very little. And I knew a few words in Nepali and Hindi. I like Hualien. Hualien is beautiful. I actually rode my bicycle all around the island last year, did it over a couple of weeks, and I saw so much beautiful, like Kunding in the south. Kunding National Park is stunning. Tainan is such a great city. It's beautiful. Like, there's some beautiful architecture there. The food is great, and the people. I always have just some great times when I go to Tainan. Too many nice places, you're right. So I really do love Taiwan, and I'm learning. There's many things I still haven't done there. I've spent lots of time there, but there's still many things on my list I need to do. I have the coolest job, I think I do. I just invented it in my head, which pretty much anybody can. That's what the Buddha said, was you are what you dream, right? As the sun has come down, and we're just going to wait just 2 more minutes, and we'll see. This might just turn red, this sky. I don't know about the U.S. I'm actually originally from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. But I don't know if I would go back to Vancouver, although I love Vancouver and I have family that live around there. I don't have kids, and yes, that's definitely something that, traveling with children is not easy for sure. I'm glad. You should go back to Taiwan. Everybody that I ever speak to that misses, if they're not in Taiwan, they miss Taiwan. And it just does have something, it does have an effect over you. It's a very a magical place. Yes, Canada is a calm place to live. It's a very peaceful place, very peaceful country. But I'm very lucky to be a Canadian because it gives me the ability. I have a passport that will allow me to go virtually anywhere in the world without questions asked in most cases. So I don't need special visas. Visas are easy for me to get. So I'm very privileged that way, and I'm using that privilege to share all this stuff. I'm able to travel because I'm Canadian easily, and it allows me to share all this with everybody. So that's my advantage of being a Canadian. You should go to Canada. It is beautiful, and whenever I've been away for a long time, I go back, and it always, to me, it feels like it sparkles. It really does. It's so beautiful. It just feels like it sparkles. And I am very lucky. You're right. And I'm just going to move closer down to the water so we get maybe. You can see this sky, and I think, if we just hang in 1 or 2 more minutes, it's going to turn red. And it is one of the most beautiful. The sunsets that I've seen over the Arabian Sea are some of my favorite. I mean, what sunset is bad, right? It's a great idea. I've seen people travel in India with kids, with babies. It can be done, but somebody should be an expert on that and be able to give travel advice for sure. I think that's a great idea. I would certainly interview somebody that's a parent that has experience traveling with children and knows the ins and outs. It's very hard on a plane. They're very, very hard on ascents and descents. Kids really get upset and cry because of the altitude change, and their ears get plugged up and all that. And that's a very difficult thing to deal with for sure. Planes are, planes especially are very hard for young children, to handle. So I definitely get the challenge in that for sure. So if you're just joining me again, it's John about Far East Adventure Travel. I've been on the road for about 50 days now and traveling. It doesn't seem like it, but I've lived. It seems like I've lived so many lives on this trip. How do you like India? I love India. I really do. I will be honest with you. It can be very, very frustrating if you don't know how to handle certain situations, like, for instance, begging. Well, that's great that you have tons of tips. You have to deal with beggars, and there's lots of people here. And if you're not used to a densely populated area, it can be very challenging. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. But I do love India. I do love traveling here, and I have very special moments in India, and like I am right now. It's a very, very spiritual place for sure. And I'm from Vancouver, Canada. That's where I'm from. And I think, yes, look at this. It's just starting to turn pink, and then it will turn red. I was up on these rocks last night behind me, and I saw the sky turn red, and I just ran down to the beach and got my camera and started clicking. Oh, well, thank you so much. Love right back at you. And this is my first time in this far south in India. Yes, very cool place to meditate. Well, the water is a dark blue normally, but it is, very dark now, obviously, because there's no light reflecting off of it, or very little. But you'll see it turn a little pink. You can see maybe a little bit of pink. And if you just hang in, like I said, thank you for the hearts, by the way. I really appreciate that. And keep following me. I'll have more from India. I'll still be here for probably at least 10 days, maybe 2 weeks more. And all from southern India. So I usually like to stop traveling around, before the holidays, because it does get really busy. I don't need to travel during the holidays like many people are. Of course, the rates go up too, and bookings are harder to come by, finding places to stay. I've been to Goa. I was in Goa 3 years ago, and Goa is wonderful. South Goa is where I was, and I love South Goa. I love Agonda Beach is my favorite place there. And I love the architecture, the Portuguese influence, and the Indian culture. It's all just a beautiful mix. And this looks like cotton candy right now. This gorgeous sunset over the Arabian Sea in Kochi, or Fort Cochin, Kerala, India. Yes, sunset. It is after 6 p.m. here. Well, I wish you could be here too. It's a beautiful place, but I'm happy to share it with you right now. I'm just going to back up a little bit here, so maybe we can get a little bit more in. Lots of people come down here, you can see, to watch the sunset. Yes, it's just starting to turn. 8 a.m. on the East Coast, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I blocked that guy. Thanks. So it is beautiful, isn't it? And give me a shout out if you haven't, where you are in the world, so I can say hi to you. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hello. They do not speak Hindi in this state. They speak Malayalam is the main language here, the local language. You're from Mumbai. Oh, very good. I love Mumbai. Had a great time in Mumbai. I was there almost 2 weeks. Atlanta, hello. North Dakota, hello. Thank you for joining me here. And please subscribe to my podcast as well, if you would. That would be great. On iTunes, it's Far East Adventure Travel. I put one out almost every week, sometimes a little bit sooner. I'll get one out in the next couple of days on my first impressions of Kerala and share that with you. And I'm uploading images daily on my Facebook page, Far East Adventure Travel. Thank you so much. Thanks, Bobby. And I think it may just turn a little bit more red. It will get to a point, and it will, if it gets to the red point, it will be out of this world. Thank you so much. Thanks for checking that out. Have your dream life. Well, you can dream your own life. That's the beauty of this life, is it's all in your head. Sometimes I believe that this whole life is a dream anyways. So if it is a dream, why don't you just make it a great dream? I suppose, yes. Similar, I guess. But we don't know, right? But I just really feel like you have control if you can dream your life. I've crossed paths with so many people that have the same story. If you can dream your life, it'll happen. Thank you so much for joining me here in Fort Cochin, Kerala, India. This is John Tibble of Far East Adventure Travel. Thank you. Safe travels. Namaste from India.